Isn't this just an amazing view? On today's special episode of The New Fly Fisher, my father and I are going to be staying at a remote outpost fishing Lake Nipigon. We're going to be hunting for massive northern pike, walleye, and if we're lucky, maybe even some brook trout, all on the fly. It's going to be a great show, so stay with us.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to GoFishingOntario.com, Orvis Sporting Traditions,
Without question, if you want to catch huge pike on a fly, you must come to Ontario. The best part of it is that there is no problem finding a place to fish without crowds. This week, we traveled to beautiful Lake Nipigon in Northern Ontario. Professional guide Dave Brennen has graciously invited us to stay at his outpost cabin and will be our guide for the next few days. World-class pike fishing can be found in the many bays and shorelines of Nipigon. Bill Spicer has previously visited and had a very successful trip on the lake. He said the pike were huge and very fly-friendly. This made us even more excited to fish the lake. We traveled from the cabin by UTV to the boats. And then wound our way along a river system out to the lake. The weather was cool and the main lake was rough. That said, we found a protected bay and it wasn't long before we hooked up with a fish.
So right now we're on top of a weed bed we can see, and it's probably about 8 feet deep from what I can tell. Dave located this. I'm casting a sink tip out onto the edge, and Jenna's using a full sinking line, pulling it quickly over top of the weeds. And, oh, there we go. And we're locating fish.
This is really a hot spot here.
Yeah. Now what we're using is perch patterns. I can't tell how big this guy, oh, it's a good one, Jen. It's a good one. Oh, yeah.
The big net or the yellow one?
Oh, we need the big net. For subsurface, I always like using streamers, jointed streamers like double D's, but this one is called Murdich Minnow. And these Murdich Minnows come in different patterns, but the thing I like about them, besides their silhouette and the way their action is, they have a rattle built into the head, and it really helps in getting the fly noticed by fish. Oh, that's a nice fish. Look at that. Oh yeah. And whoever says pike don't fight, have not caught them on a fly rod. And then here on Lake Nipigon, the water's so cold all season long. These fish fight well all season long. And we just repositioned. Dave told us, hey, there's some weeds over here. We went on top of the weeds. Jenna was casting to the one edge, and I was doing the drop off, and this fish came right off the drop off. All right, keep his head up, Jenna.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Don't swipe till he gets his, she's not ready yet. We had to go into the shelter of this bay. We're gonna go out to some of the shoals. Okay, ready, go. That's it. Oh, we're out in the, we wanted to go to the open water, but it's choppy, so we came into this little bay. Oh, how's that for nice? It's the thickness. Look how thick that fish is. Be careful to support it. And go like this. And oh, she's already wanting to go. Oh, bye-bye. She's righting herself, and there she goes. Wow, what a monster. One of the things that's important to know about fishing here on Lake Nipigon that Dave told me about is that they're totally barbless. So we're using single hooks with these flies, no trebles. And I'm just pinching down the barb, which I don't have a problem with, but you have to use barbless hooks. And that's great too, when you do get those smaller pike, they're easy to get off.
Okay, the Lake Nipigon Outpost Lodge, we have, of course, giant Northern Pike. Good numbers in walleye and good size walleye are common. Trophy brook trout are always around, and there are lake trout also. And those are the 4 main species that we fish in Lake Nipigon.
Oh, that's a fish. Fish on.
Yeah, that looks like one. Let me get my fly in here.
Oh.
Look, go tight. It's
Trying
fighting
to-
pretty good. Okay, let him run.
Okay.
Let him run. This looks like a decent fish. Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah, he didn't like that. Head up. Keep going this way, keep going this way, keep going this way, keep going this way.
Oh, that fly was almost out there.
Look at that. So hold her by the tail. Let her revive here. Might take a few minutes.
The new fly fisher will return after these messages. Today we've been really varying our retrieve while fishing for pike, and it's important to do that so you can find out what they're going to chase. We've been doing short retrieves, slow retrieves, and pauses in between, and really figuring out what's going to make them take the bite.
How big this one is, Jenna? It's
So-
pulling pretty well.
Oh,
This might be a bigger fish. Oh yeah. That's a little pike, but he's just fighting well. Oh. This guy's acting like he might have something big chasing him. There we go. All right. It is a good size. So much action. They're so aggressive. There you go. Off he goes. Using Clouser Minnow. It's about 6 inches long. Chartreuse and white. Just perfect. It's getting down to where the fish are with the sink tip, and I'm working the edges.
the flies we found most successful on this trip were a white and chartreuse Clouser Minnow, a green and white Murdich Minnow, and a green articulated Deceiver. There are also some essential tools you will need when fishing for pike. First, jaw spreaders and long nose pliers. Second, you need a good hook hone to keep your hook as sharp as possible. You can only have one hook on your fly, so a sharp hook is paramount.
Jeez, already got a
Oh
fish.
gosh. It's got a fish already.
It's a big one too.
Of course it is.
First cast, repositioning. And I've got, I think, a big fish.
Do you want me to reel in?
No, keep it out. Let me just make sure. I just saw it once. I get my line in here before it takes a run. And there, it's starting to take a run. Yeah, it's a big fish. Oh, he's off. Oh.
Pike rely on ambush when hunting their prey. That means when trying to locate pike, you must think structure. Anywhere a pike could hide might hold fish. Today we found active fish along weed lines and along rock points that were adjacent to deep water. When the temperature is warm, pike will hold in deep water and only venture into the shallow water structure to feed, usually in the morning when temperatures are cool.
Fish on.
Well, that looks like a fish.
It is a fish.
No, I meant a fish.
A fish.
Like a big fish.
Oh,
Get
it's
on
fighting like a big fish.
I'd get that fish onto the reel, sweetheart.
Okay.
Put it the other way.
Yeah.
Drive the fish the other way, Jenna.
Oh, he's coming this way. I thought I was going the other way. Oh, seeing little flashes there.
I don't think it's that big.
No.
It's a walleye.
Is it?
It's a walleye. It's another walleye. Well, that's a good eating size. When you have a couple for supper. Bring the leader here.
Yeah. Here you go. Thanks, Dad. It's a nice size. And this is the fun part of fishing Lake Nipigon. You never know what you're gonna get when you toss your fly in the water. Oh,
Yeah.
that looks like a decent one.
It's hard to tell. Little guy. A nice walleye.
You need any help?
Nope, I got it. It's a good
Okay.
sized walleye. Be a good eater. There he goes.
More pike action when we return.
Maybe the third or fourth week, depending on whether the ice is off yet and the seasons are open. The Northern Pike, it opens the end of May, and then it's the around June 10th when the walleye season opens up. So some people will come earlier and just fish the Northerns and the Brook Trout, and then later on they'll fish for the walleye once they open. It creates more opportunity also.
The next morning, the weather was much improved and we headed back to the rock point we had fished the day earlier. Luckily, the fish were still feeding.
Yeah, this is a big fish.
Oh, wow.
Look at how ripped.
Okay, I'll reel in then.
No, you go ahead, fight it. Let's just make sure it's a big fish. But it sure acted like one. Oh.
Good job, Dad.
Took it on the paws, like it does a lot of these times. Oh. Yeah, this might be a big fish. I'm gonna put him on the reel. Just hold him here, pinch the line, let him run if he wants it. Oh yeah, that's a 25er. That's a 25 pounder. Yeah, we're gonna need the big net, sweetheart. 25 pounds of pike. Found amongst all these fish. Oh boy, what a powerhouse. So don't do anything until I get the head up. See it?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna bring the head up. Keep the head up, keep the head up, keep the head up. No, Jenna, don't reach for it, because as soon as you move, He sees that.
Okay.
And they go for it, okay? Let me cruise his head into there, okay?
All right.
Got a single hook in this fly. We got him right in the corner. Okay. Jenna,
Yeah.
come to you, coming to you, coming to you. Now, scoop. Oh boy, that's a big bite.
Good job, Dad.
So I just caught that about 25-pound pike. We were catching a bunch of smaller ones on the inside, and as soon as we moved out onto the deeper edge, boom, got into them. But there's weeds here out in the deeper edge, so that's probably why that bigger pike was there. So we've moved out about 15 feet. We're gonna do the same drift, letting the current push us along. And something else, just quickly, the importance of checking your leader. And even though this is 40-pound wire leader, I've got a bunch of strands cut in this from that pike and those razor teeth, so I'm gonna have to retie. So make sure you check your rig.
The rods and reels used on this trip were stiff action 9-foot number 9 weight rods with matching reels. The pike here are enormous, so a good drag system on your reel is very important. We used 3 different lines throughout the trip. We used floating lines when the water was shallow, a sink tip line, and a full sink line when we were fishing deeper water.
Fish on.
That's it. Reel. Any size, do you think?
I can't see. Haven't seen it yet. Oh,
Jenna, didn't even make a cast yet. What the heck?
sorry. Oh, it looks like it's a pretty good size. Can barely see it though. It's pretty sizable.
Oh, that's a decent sized
Yeah.
pike. I'm gonna have to net that one.
There we
Head
go.
first.
Wow, that was an easy catch. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Just hang tight, buddy. Hang tight. Okay. Good job, Jenna.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, it's a heavy fish. There he goes. There he goes. I got a fish. Oh,
Any size?
I can't tell yet. Kind of indicating it's a big fish. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I'd say it's a big fish.
Okay, I'll reel in.
Haven't seen it.
Just on fire today there, Dad.
That's a pretty good size one, sweetheart.
Yellow or green?
I would say yellow.
Okay.
I think we can land with yellow. He's in that 15 to 18 pound range. Wow. So this is a 10 weight rod I'm using with a sink tip line. I'm using 500 grain. Look at this beast. Wow. Don't move, Jen. Oh, yeah. Give you a little splashy. Head up, head up, head up. You got him. There you go. That pretty much fills that net.
There were 2 setups we used for the pike. The first was a pike taper floating line to a 6-foot stiff mono leader in 50-pound test. We then added 12 to 18 inches of 30-pound wire bite tippet, then the fly. The second setup was for the sink tips and the full sinking lines. To the sinking lines, we attached a 4-foot section of 50-pound mono, and attached to that was 12 to 18 inches of 30-pound wire bite tippet, then the fly.
So we just repositioned. Dave told us about a weed bed that was out here off the shoreline, submerged cabbage, and drifted in, and Jenna made first cast, still out in the deeper water, and boom, and she's into a monster. Just keep the head up, head up, head up. There you go. Got nowhere to go. Right in there. Whoa, that's big fish. 20 pounds. I'd say it's a 20 pounder, Jenna.
Great.
Okay. It's ready to go. Let's see, it's ready to go. Oh!
It's a big guy?
I think so. It's feeling like it. Oh, it's a big one.
Should I bring my line in? Oh,
Oh yeah, Jenna.
my
that's
gosh.
a big fish. It's a big, big fish.
Okay. Oh.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Get him on the reel, get him on the reel. Oh, Jenna, that's a monster. This is a 25 plus. Don't move, don't move. Okay, now scoop. A big fish. He's ready to go. I'm gonna give it a little push here. Off it goes. Like all good fishing trips, unfortunately this one's come to an end and we've got to say goodbye. We've had a fantastic time here on Lake Nipigon, and I want to thank Dave and Ian Brennen for having us here. You know, this has been so special. I wanted Jenna to experience something like this, a remote outpost, and yet we drove to it. And to have world-class fishing. Those pike were so huge. If you want to learn more about this show and about this remote outpost that North Superior Charter runs, go to our website, thenewflyfisher.com. From Jenna and I and everybody at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to GoFishingOntario.com, Orvis Sporting Traditions,